Today I am going to be doing a little experiment as a result of the latest Mrs Brimbles video over on her Patreon. So I'm going to be using this watercolour block paper. It's quite thick. It's actually like stuck down in a block and it's really difficult to get it up. So I've never used this paper before. It's quite thick. And yeah, I'll give it a go. So this is what I'm going to be doing. Mrs Brimbles on her latest Patreon had a video where she created this beautiful snowdrops. They are absolutely gorgeous, and she used a mixture of the drawing gum, which I've got some here. I've got the Piebo or whatever it is called, so I'm going to be using that. It does smell really rank. She used a pen in order to do the resist, and then she painted it using watercolour and added some stamps and things. So I'm going to be using BRUSHO instead, and we'll see what effect that has. But I'm also going to be using my watercolours. I've got the Jane Davenport Brights that I'm going to be using, and then I've got my Little Rainbow Moon selection and some what Geraldine sent me, and they are the Daniel Smith watercolours. So I'm going to be using all of that to create this. So I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to speed up the video because, well, for several reasons really. You can see the main video on Mrs Brimbles' Patreon, so I don't want to talk you through it. Mrs Brimbles has already done that, Anna's already done that. So this is just to have a look at me playing with it really and see what happens. It might be a complete disaster. It probably will be a complete disaster, but you know, we will give it a go. So I'm using a cheap paintbrush to start with in order to do the snowdrops. So I will stop and talk at various points, but the majority of the video will be sped up. Okay, enjoy. Is phase one complete. I've done the basic outline using the drawing gum, and now I'm going to be adding some watercolour to the page in order to pretty up the page and to give the flowers some depth as well. So again, I will probably speed this bit up so that you can see it and see what it looks like. Okay, so that's the basics of the painting that I'm going to do today. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a bit of BRUSHO to it. And again, I have no idea whether this is going to work, whether it's not going to work, what it's going to look like. I do not know. So I'm just going to give it a go and see what happens. I've got a bit of olive green here, which looks like I've never used it before, so we'll give it a try, shall we? So I've just got a little pin in the top, so I'm just going to splat that onto the page. Not very green, is it? Yeah, that doesn't look olive green, that looks quite orange to me, but again, we'll see what the result is. Lime green, we'll try that one. Bit of lime, again very orange. Maybe this will come out more green once it's dried. Now I do like the effect it's giving here, that is just stunning. So I'm just going to give it a whiz of water and see what effect that has. I do love BRUSHO. The effect it has is just gorgeous, stunning. Now this has kind of overpowered the page a little bit, so I didn't really intend on adding so much colour, so I'm just going to lift a bit off, I think, with this. But also make it run a little bit more as well. I think that's more of the effect that I was after. So yeah, just try and dapple, get rid of some of the bits in the middle. It really does soak through the paper as well. Now, let's see if this gives any texture to it as well using the kitchen roll. Yeah, a little bit. Quite like that. Right, so that is more of the effect that I wanted. So what other colours have I got? Let's have a look. Yellow. So we'll try a bit of the yellow. Again, not very yellow. I'm just going to try and put this on the edges rather than in the centre. Again, see what effect it has. I love watching BRUSHO and watching how it reacts to the page. And the colours are just stunning. Look at that. Stunning, stunning colours. Absolutely beautiful. It just looks like a peacock. I say that on every BRUSHO video I do. I think I need some different colours so that it looks less peacock-like, but it just looks beautiful. Let's have a bit of red in there because it's, in fact, no, let's not have red. Red's probably not the best colour, is it, to have? What else have I got? No, I think that's probably it. I'm going to go back over it with some yellow though, I think, to add a bit more yellow in it because it's looking very orange at the minute and I'd like a bit more yellow. Oh, but the yellow looks orange as well. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the colours I really, really wanted, but it will do. So I'm just going to blot it and see what that does. That's better. That's much more muted. I'm liking that a lot more. Yeah. So I'm just going to give it a whiz on the dryer. I don't normally like doing that, but I'm impatient when I'm doing videos. Okay, so I'm going to put the BRUSHO away and I'm going to get the paint back out and see if I can get some of that gorgeous green colour back that I had before. because it is looking too orange for my liking at the minute. I'm just going to go ahead and get some green back in the edge. That's looking much more like the colour that I wanted. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to do one last bit of drying, and then I'm going to peel off and then just do the final finishing touches. Okay, so Anna, in her video, she added some sort of stamping around the edge, so I wanted to try that as well. However, she used like corrugated sort of card, and I haven't got any. So I'm just going to use a sort of word stamp just to get some nice words around the edge, just to give it a bit of texture really. So I've got this green stamp here, which came with an embossing kit. So I'm just going to see how it works, just like randomly. Oh, it doesn't work very well. This stamp pad is not very good, it would seem. Right, let's see how that one fares. I don't know whether it's because the page is still wet, but again, I'm only giving it a little bit of roughness around the edge. I think it is the stamp book, it's not very good. In fact, I quite like that instead, so I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to rub the stamp and get that texture around the edge instead. And get that roughness, and just do some like general bit of flicking. And it just gives that sort of nature feel. I quite like that. Yeah. So that's like really sort of lifted it a little bit as well, and just giving it a bit of depth. So I think now it's time to peel off the drawing gum, and this is so satisfying. Yeah, this is so satisfying doing this. I do apologise, my video's just turned itself off and it said it didn't have enough storage space. So yeah, I think it's time for a new phone. So yeah, I've deleted one of my old videos off there, which I didn't realise was still there. So yeah, this looks really, really nice. Obviously I've got to go over the leaves, but how lovely. That is so pretty. I do like that. So final part is to just go over the leaves and sort of accentuate those leaves. I do like that word, accentuate. And that's it. And again, I'm gonna just speed this up a little bit. So I'm just doing the last little bit before the camera decides to fully die, and I'm just going to add in a bit of light and shade here with a bit of white acrylic, just to really emphasize that depth and just sort of highlight little areas as well as the dark side bits, and that should really lift. Okay, so there we go. There is the final image, all finished and complete. And I do actually really like it, to be honest. I'll probably go over it with a bit of pencil to give it a bit more depth, but I don't seem to have a pencil at the minute. Please do check out Anna Brim's Patreon. and see what tutorials and things she's got on offer, because there are some amazing bits and some amazing collage sheets as well, which is all going in my blog post. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye.